supplies and the perils of the Mediterranean Sea. Despite gains in healthcare and literacy in the East African state, human rights violations described by the UN as systematic and widespread continue to be inflicted on the Eritrean people. And the country's compulsory military service, meant to last for 18 months, in reality goes on indefinitely, as our international editor Lindsay Hilson now reports.
This year's recruits swear allegiance to the flag. Men and women are both conscripted in Eritrea. Although they're supposed to serve for 18 months, those who pass out from Sawa, the military academy, have no idea for how long they'll be soldiers. In Eritrea, military service is indefinite. President Afewerki watches. He's ruled since Eritrea's independence in 1993, and he brooks no dissent. That's one reason so many of the migrants who cross the Mediterranean are Eritreans. 3,000 to 4,000 flee the country every month. The government rarely mentions that 6% of the Eritrean population has risked death to leave, and the president is scornful.
Don't think this country is missing out because these people have left. There is no way our work will be disrupted because of them. You may think our capacity is being degraded, but people like that on your team are just burdens.
Pictures drawn by a torture victim included in a recent UN human rights report. The government not only tortures people but kills opponents too. Many just disappear. Such atrocities are systematic and widespread, the report said. Such is the extent of censorship, Eritrea has been compared to North Korea. But the government tells another story.
Eritrea is now one of the very few African countries that will be able to meet many of the Millennium Development Goals.
And it's true. The healthcare system has improved massively. Far fewer babies and children die than at independence. HIV and malaria rates have rapidly been reduced. Literacy rates have also improved. Yet still they flee. In 2013, 300 Eritreans died in one incident when their boat caught fire off Lampedusa. Young men and women who, despite development, found life in Eritrea unbearable, and who ended up with no life at all.
Lindsay Hilson reporting. We're joined now by Yemane Gebreab, who is the head of political affairs in Eritrea's ruling People's Front for Democracy and Justice, and a special advisor to President Afewerki. Mr. Gebreab, what does your government say is the explanation for 4,000 of your citizens fleeing every month?
I was watching the video clip that he just showed, and it's really sad because it's a continuation of a very distorted picture about Eritrea that's being given. A lot of the people...
But you can come to that in a moment. I've just asked you, why are so many of your people fleeing your country?
I think the right question to ask is, why are so many people from all over the world coming to Europe and other places?
15% of them come from your tiny country. I mean, there are huge countries from which tiny numbers of people come, but from your country, a very large number, 4,000 a month.
It's not true. UN figures say that last year, in 2014, 20 million people migrated from their own country to other countries. For Eritrea, if you count the figures, it's just a drop in the ocean.
But you see, the thing is, in your country, you don't report these things anyway. There's no mention anywhere in the Eritrean media, which is extremely strictly controlled, there's no mention of any migrants leaving. And of course, they can't come back either, can they?
It's not true. In the first place, the issue of migration is a very important issue for us, and therefore it's a question that we debate on a continuous basis.
And you may debate it, you don't speak about it in the press.
We speak about it in the press.
You do not?
Well,
find me any reference in your press that this is ever talked about.
I will, and I can even send you clippings from our press where we discuss these issues. But you asked another question as well, which is people are not allowed to come back. Again, that's not true. the Eritrean government has a very clear policy which says that any Eritrean, however they left the country, are welcome to come back to Eritrea, and as a matter of fact, thousands of them do. This is the summer.
Well, that's not something that either the UN or indeed people we've spoken to say. But let me ask you about military service. Because
can I just explain? Because right now this is the summer, and people from the diaspora come to Eritrea for their summer vacation. And right now there are thousands of Eritreans who left the country illegally.
What you don't see to address is that hundreds of them are dying in the Mediterranean going the other way. But let's leave that for a moment. Let me come to military service. Now, for years, military service has been supposed to be 18 months, has gone on and on and on, and for many people it's 10 years, 15 years, in some cases, without end. And that is one of the reasons why people are fleeing your country.
Again, that's not true. And what we faced here is a disinformation campaign that has been going on.
Well, I'm sorry, we have it on very good authority from enormous numbers of Eritreans we've spoken to that this is happening, that they are trapped for really all their early working lives. 18 months is simply a lie.
Can I explain this? Because
I know you changed the rules in 2014, but there's no evidence of the actual fact of it changing on the ground.
You're asking me questions and you're not giving me the opportunity to reply, okay? And I'm saying national service is a fact of life. In Eritrea we have national service because we're a small country. We don't want to keep a large army.
Sure, the war finished 13 years ago. So you don't need much of an army.
Again, can I please finish? The war finished in 2000. But still, Ethiopia 2000. But Ethiopia continues to occupy Eritrean territory. There is an internationally binding ruling on the border, and Ethiopia has refused to accept it.
Well, we can't go into the politics at all. We need to know, has it now definitely stopped the indefinite usage of people in national service?
There has never been indefinite usage of people in national service.
The UN says completely contrary.
Well, you just brought the UN report on your clip that I saw. The UN report, if you ask people who live in Eritrea, including European Union ambassadors, will tell you that this is a distorted picture of the reality. You are giving pictures here, and I just saw it. Those pictures in the UN report are a copy and paste of the 2004 Amnesty International report, and there hasn't been no confirmation about it at all. What I would like to suggest
I'm sorry, we have to leave it there. What I would like
to suggest is you send a crew and have a look for yourself.
We will. Mr. Gebreab, thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you.
Thanks, John. After the break, how the discovery of previously hidden